M. Night Shyamalan's newest film is Old, and like many of the filmmaker's movies, it has a predictably unpredictable twist ending. Here's a breakdown of everything you need to know about what happens in the final moments of Old. Throughout Old and its brisk 108-minute runtime, the viewer is repeatedly bombarded with new wrinkles within the film's central conflict. Beneath all the intrigue lies a ticking clock as the cast of characters' time left to live runs out. When the beach excursion begins, there are 11 characters with their toes in the sand. There's insurance actuary Guy, his wife Priska, and their kids Maddox and Trent, each played by a trio of performers as they rapidly age over the course of the day. They're joined by the Dr. Charles, his wife Crystal, his mother Agnes, and their daughter Kara. There's also the rapper, Midsize Sedan, who was on the beach when they arrived, and Nurse Jaren alongside his wife Patricia, a psychologist. It's a cast the perfect size for a classic whodunit, except in this case, the mystery is very supernatural, hurtling each character towards certain death if they can't make it off the beach. As they try to escape the beach, every potential exit proves untenable. Trying to swim against the current kills Jaren. Climbing the cliffside and falling fells an adult-aged Kara. Everyone who tries to traverse the cavern surrounding the beach blacks out. The surviving inhabitants each succumb to the hardships of aging in their own respective ways, while accepting their fate and trying to enjoy the present with their remaining loved ones. Guy and Priska, on the verge of divorce when the film begins due to infidelity and a benign tumor causing the duo to doubt their future together, have no choice but to forget the troubles of the life they led before arriving in this peculiar nexus. Guy slowly loses his vision and Priska her hearing. But the two work together to fend off the violent threat of Charles, the doctor hiding a burgeoning schizophrenia that consumes him as the beach ages his mind by years in hours. Nearly adult-aged Maddox and Trent must hide from Crystal, who has similarly lost her mind and is trying to kill them by heaving rocks from afar. The core family spends one final moonlit moment together, enjoying the peace and tranquility they initially sought this vacation for. Guy and Priska die within moments of one another, mimicking a sped-up version of how often elderly couples die within months of each other. When the sun rises the next morning, Maddox and Trent, who began this journey aged 11 and 6, find themselves in middle age, positive they will die, but choosing to give escape one last chance. But not before building a sandcastle together, for old time's sake. In the ensuing playdate, Trent remembers the code-breaking game he played with Idlib, a child they met at the resort the day before. Idlib seemed to know more about this strange location than he was able to let on, but when Trent decodes the final letter he got before they came to the beach, it reveals a pretentious message about the potentially protective powers of the nearby coral. This convinces Maddox and Trent that swimming through the coral may protect them long enough to get away from the beach and whatever mysterious energies have been hounding them. But when they try to make this underwater trek, Maddox gets her swimsuit caught and the two appear to drown. The final members of this trip extinguished for good. It is at this point that the film pulls back to reveal the murky figure that has been observing the beach this entire time, only seen in glimpses from afar. It's the hotel van driver who dropped them all off in the first place, played by M. Night Shyamalan himself. But he's no simple hotel employee. Based on the interactions he has over his phone, he is one of the resort's many researchers, and everything we have seen unfold is just part of a larger experiment, the 73rd in a series, it would seem. The resort manager is actually in charge of this facility, which was erected to understand the natural anomaly of the beach and figure out how to use its mystical properties for the betterment of mankind. Every member of the cast was chosen because of a specific ailment they suffered from, whether it be Priska's tumor or Charles's schizophrenia, so that they could have experimental new drugs tested on him. Because of the time acceleration, medical trials that typically take years can unfold over the course of hours. The data gathered from this protracted slaughter will help save thousands of lives. Or at least, that is how everyone involved justifies the work they do. Some of the scientists object to the specifics of the procedure, but the manager implies that it's unlikely they'll be changing their methods anytime soon. It's not like anyone has survived to complain. Or have they? Earlier in the film, Trent, when he was still a child, would walk up to every new adult character and ask them their name and occupation. It seemed like an easy way for Shyamalan to help audiences keep track of the numerous side players in Old, but it was also seeding for the film's final twist. As a brand new crop of patients arrives at the resort, we see a fellow visitor from the film's opening relaxing on the patio and hear a familiar voice ask if he's a cop. We then remember Trent meeting this man the day before and realize the voice is adult Trent, who, alongside Maddox, survived loved the coral and is now passing along a diary a previous beach inhabitant kept, listing everyone that died from their trial, their full names, and home addresses. The cop calls home to look up some of the names, discovering that every single one of them is a missing persons case. At the same time, Trent and Maddox interrupt the new resort inhabitants from having their welcome cocktails, the delivery system used to pump them full of the experimental drugs, and begin to tell their stories to the remaining tenants, many of whom have their smartphones out recording their story. We see the survivors being helicoptered out of the island, as it is explained that the entire operation is being shuttered and everyone involved will be brought to justice. But Trent and Maddox must now go meet their aunt, their only remaining relative, who is now a few years their junior. The film leaves the audience pondering a number of unresolved questions, but the one that matters the most, perhaps, is whether this experiment coming to an end is truly for the greater good or not. It's an ending worth debating, so long as you can wrap your head around it first, anyway. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about your favorite movies and TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.